Today, I wanted to make a quick video that I had been thinking about making for quite a while, but there's obviously a fair bit to it. I've got like 9 different points to break down today on talking to women, important thoughts. But some quick things before I get into it is my whole goal with this video is not to act like I'm a big master or I'm a big pro. I have very limited experience compared to some men. And I think also my goals are probably going to be different to a lot of other men's. My goal is not for as many hookups as possible and like pound town. And no, for me, I want to date to marry, which means I am not like, obviously I've gone on dates with girls before, but for me to enter a relationship, I'd have to see qualities in that woman that I want in my future wife, and far more qualities than just sexual qualities. We can find them on every street corner. The qualities that I think anyone is looking for in a longer term marriage are a whole lot harder to find, which is why I have not committed to anything right now. Like right now, I'm single in my life. But I've been on quite a few dates with quite a few different girls of many different backgrounds. And I think, yeah, with this, I'm not acting like an expert. There's far wiser people out there than me. And I'm also not making it so, oh, you can get as much game as you want. Like in the end, you can use my advice and thoughts however you want. But in the end, I'm just saying my whole goal with this is not for, oh, yeah, feed that lust and, whatever. That is not my goal with this at all. So read my heart with this. And in the end, comment below whether you've found this helpful at different points throughout the video or whether you're thinking there's some I missed, whatever. I want to hear your feedback. Let me know. The first thought I have on talking to women that is super important is trial and error. And this probably sounds like pretty basic, but it's like anything in life, trial and error and not taking rejection personally, I think is super important. And obviously, when I say trial and error, I think many people interpret that as, oh, okay, I've got to try before I buy and I've got to pound before I get down and commit to them. And no, that's not what I mean at all. But you talking to women, and in the end, my always thought with going on dates and with interacting with women is if your future wife came along and the future person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, because I think even players and most guys would like to have a future wife or a partner who they can be committed to. So I think most guys want to have a woman they can commit to, but that idea of imagine your future wife came along, but imagine you weren't in the place and you didn't know how to speak to women. Imagine you like froze up or had like crazy stutters or whatever it is. And imagine you met her, interacted with her, had the opportunities, but you didn't know how to speak to her and you couldn't be yourself around her. You couldn't be relaxed or calm. And she went off, found a different man, and you ended up settling for something less or settling for someone who actually wasn't meant to be. I feel like that would be a crazy thing to mess up, especially when I feel like trial and error. I mean, just you can go on dates, and it doesn't mean going on dates is, oh, I've got to have sex at the end of the day. Like, I feel like that's completely the wrong idea to go into it. But that idea of being able to stay calm around people that you're attracted to, around women that you're attracted to, being able to understand what are the qualities that most women are actually looking for in a man. And I don't mean stuff like, oh, 6 foot and I make like 6 figures or more a year. Like, I don't mean stuff like that. But in the end, just being used to and talking to women and that whole thing, trial and error, you're going to figure out what you like and what you don't like. And again, I don't mean sexually. In the end, I feel like sexually is such a small part. People act like if you guys don't get along sexually, then everything else won't line up. I just really don't believe that. We've seen over centuries heaps of arranged marriages and stuff where they worked out completely fine. And there was even love in those relationships, far more than people just going, oh, I have to line it up sexually. So I think don't get that confused. Be genuinely you is my second point. Be you. In the end, no one wants to just go out with someone and think they know who this person is and then find out that you're putting on a facade the entire time. That is completely not the right outlook. It doesn't mean that you can't present the best version of you, but don't lie about certain facts of your life. If a girl asks, oh, so you're studying at the moment? I'm not studying right now. But I'm not going to make up and go like, oh, yeah, I'm thinking of studying law. Yeah, I'm actually in my fourth year of uni. Stuff like, don't start lying. Oh, I actually have a Lambo at home. In the end, if you start lying and then a woman finds out those lies with, especially those kind of lies, which are just stupid, you're going to get caught out. It's going to break any trust that she had in you, which was probably already a very small amount. And you're just starting yourself off completely on the wrong foot. Be honest about aspects of your life. It doesn't mean you need to go say your deepest, darkest secrets or all your weaknesses and all the flaws you have in your life. In the end, present the best part of you, dress well, look your best, be careful with what you say, you know, all those kind of things. But a bit like if you're going in for a job interview or you're trying to be on your best behavior. But in the end, it still needs to be genuinely you. I hate the idea of putting on a facade and just, oh, I've got to get her in bed as quick as possible. I'll do anything to get that. That is not the point. If that's what you're going for, then yeah, put on that facade, do that kind of thing, and be the person who you think they want you to be, whatever. But if you're actually looking for a longer term relationship and you're looking for that marriage or a longer commitment, you need to be genuinely you, but you can still present the best parts of yourself. And obviously, once they get to know you better, they're going to see the flaws in you as a person, and you're going to see the flaws in her as a person. And that's the part of it. But it just doesn't mean that you need to like bash over the head with all your issues straight up. My third thought would be you are expected to initiate conversation with women. I'll say that again. You are expected to initiate conversation with women. Don't wait around for them to come to you because you're going to be waiting a very long time. Women can afford to wait, at least while they're young, but men cannot. But obviously, if a man is really working on himself, he can be hitting his peak later on in life. And there's 40-year-old men, 50-year-old men who have more sexual opportunity than 20-year-old men, 30-year-old men. But that whole thing of you cannot wait. An attractive woman can sit at a bar alone by herself, and I guarantee you that she would get approached by men throughout the night. She will have people come up to her, oh, can I buy you a drink, whatever. But if you're a man, you can be an attractive man, a guy who's actually earning like six figures a year, who's like, let's say he's a freaking doctor, lawyer, whatever, those big high-paying jobs. Maybe he's a big entrepreneur, maybe he owns a massive business. He could sit in a bar alone with a drink and he wouldn't get approached by anyone. And I'm just telling you, like, that might suck, and it might be like, oh, well, that's unfair, oh, women just have so many advantages. And while they're young, they do have a bit more of an advantage over men. Like, they really do. But I feel like it's important to kind of look at you taking initiative kind of as a gift. You actually get to initiate and go out. And it really means that you're going to get to talk to women and get to experience conversation and meet people. It's going to grow you as a person. And you're also going to get to meet people who other men are not going for because the social anxiety is just too much. So I think instead of looking at that as a curse of, oh, if I wait around, I'll get nothing and that sucks. I think look at it as a positive thing of, I get to go approach, talk to women. I'm going to really want to maximize that, make the most of that, if that makes sense. Number 4 would be don't overdo compliments. Avoid compliments of physical attributes that are little to none of the girl's doing. So I guess to say it bluntly with some of this kind of stuff, saying, oh, you have such like, I don't think you would ever say this. Only really stupid people would say this. But stuff like, oh, you have really great boobs or something like that. And we see that kind of thing in Dumb and Dumber and, you know, like just stupid. But why would you ever say that? When a girl, like she has control over what size they are, you know, unless she's had a boob job or something like that. That is a job that attributes nothing to the actual woman and who she is as a person, and it's completely just a lust-based value. Like, there's a million other people in the world who have boobs just like, you know, and I feel like that is a kind of compliment that is gonna take you absolutely nowhere. With those kind of compliments, like compliments on their body, or even compliments like, oh, you're so pretty, or one of those kind of things, and guys just kind of like throw the compliments, like hoping some will stick and just hoping the girl will suddenly like them back because of that. The problem with those compliments is they're cheap. Anyone can give them. She's probably heard that from 100 other guys. They're lust-focused. Anything that's to do with physical attributes, a guy's probably thinking with not his head, he's thinking with this one. And that's just the way it is. They're cheap, they're lust-focused, and they don't show value to her as a woman. When you're going to give compliments, you want them to be of her character on things that she's actually done. For example, let's say she's studied 5 years or 7 years to become a doctor. Let's say she's really gone out and she's really adventurous and she climbs up mountains and she's really worked on her physique, whatever. You can really say, I love the discipline. I love the work that you've put into yourself. And that is something that then attributes the qualities and it attributes the compliment to her. And it's not just, oh, you're so hot, you know. And that is going to be a big difference. When you compliment a woman, avoid over complimenting, but then also when you are going to compliment, make them count. Put some thought into it. Like when someone gives you a compliment that is just cheap. I don't know if you're somebody who gets complimented often, but as someone like me where I get compliments on the semi-regular, I feel like you can tell when someone has put thought into a compliment and like when they've just like thrown it off, like, oh, you're a good looking boy or something like that. The ones that mean the most are the ones that people have thought about, and they're the ones that attribute qualities to my character and the things I've worked on, and they're not just things like, oh, you're so hot. You know, in the end, we can hear that so many times. That stuff gets boring, meaningless, and in the end, they're not going to pick you over a guy who is giving heartfelt, genuine compliments. Number 5 is maximize your appearance. This sounds like pretty basic. I say this in like half my videos, but maximize your appearance. Like on your dating app, your picture matters. When I say your picture, I mean your outward appearance, the way you look, the way you carry yourself, that matters. It really does. It sucks that it matters, and it would be great if we could just see everyone's personality. And let's imagine all the cheaters just had the word cheater written above their head. It'd be like, oh man, that'd be great. Avoid them, steer clear. But the truth is, we don't. We can only go off outward appearances. In the end, if you are a rotten egg on the inside, a rotten apple on the inside, it doesn't matter. An appearance will only take you so far. But your appearance still does matter. And you might have the best personality in the world. You might have an awesome heart. You might absolutely love God, whatever it is. But in the end, if your outward appearance is screaming like weirdo or gross or you stink or whatever it is, people are not going to stick around long enough for them to actually get to know you. They'll be well off before they even get to see your personality. Your appearance does matter. It is the first impression and taste of who you are as a person. I have other videos that I've released on Look Maxi. If you want to go check them out, then they'll be on my page. Scroll through my videos. I haven't got that many videos right now. You'll be able to find them. And there's obviously heaps of other stuff online or on YouTube on how to make yourself look your best in really simple ways that you could change today. Number 6 is breathing and remaining calm, relaxed, and focused. And this was one that actually took me a long time to figure out. And I had to watch stuff from Hamza and other people, and then just realizing the difference it made when I tried it in person, actually like practicing it, of our breathing controls so much of our current mood and headspace. And I found, like, it still happens to me, like when I go on a date or when I'm with someone I'm attracted to, I just find my breathing really starts speeding up and you get in this like fight or flight kind of mode. It's just like, obviously, and you start getting adrenaline, you get the sweaty palms and then your hand shaking and it's like this wet hand, like it's like, what? No one wants that. But I just found the breathing makes such a difference. You really can choose to stress yourself out or you can choose to calm yourself down depending on where your breathing is at. I encourage you to try it next time you're around in a stressful situation. It might be, oh, you got to talk to your boss because you're getting in trouble. It might be you got a detention, you got to deal with that person. Or it might be dealing with that person that you are attracted to or going on a date. Focus on your breathing. Take deep, long breaths. Like really, I'm not going to do it like right now because it kind of looks gay. I will do it right now. Just for you. I'm doing this for you. Oh mate, I felt my balls move so much. But I feel like doing deep breaths and just doing a couple of them, like they say, do 3 deep breaths before you go doing anything. And that's like what they say, like when you're angry with someone and you feel like just putting your fist through a wall or pulling out your pocket knife and shanking someone. I don't know what it is. But in the end, it makes such a difference. Focus on the breathing and you will find you'll be so much more in the moment, relaxed and focused than you were before. Like it's actually incredible. I cannot stress it enough on how important it is. Number 7 is people will show more grace to attractive people. And it's kind of connected to number 5 where I was talking about maximize your appearance. But I've just got this little thing here, which means if you mess up, but you are attractive and appealing, a girl is less likely to throw you to the door straight away, which gives you a better chance to get to know each other better. And then, even if your looks or other things out of the way, if she gets to see your personality and you actually like hit it off and you got good chemistry, you are in a better off position compared to, let's say you are not attractive and appealing and she's kind of already on edge and, I don't know about this, whatever. And you do a bit of a slip up. Let's say you say a joke that's not funny and she really doesn't enjoy it. Let's say you make her a compliment. Oh, your boobs look so good. Let's say you do something really stupid like that. If you are attractive and appealing, even if you mess up or make a bit of a slip up, or let's say you don't pay for the meal, let's say you do some real stupid stuff, she is more likely to let you sit around a little bit longer if you are attractive and appealing compared to if you are not. So again, just remember that and remember that your appearance and how you look is going to give you more grace and more time to get to know a woman better compared to if you do not look your best. Keep that in mind. Number 8 is talk to everyone. Yes, you heard me right. Talk to everyone. Don't just talk to the girl you're attracted to. Don't just talk to your best mate. Talk to everyone, even the girls you aren't attracted to. Practice is important. And again, when I say practice, I don't mean sexually. I mean just practice in talking to people. The more you talk to people, the more natural you will become. The more you talk to people, the more relaxed you will become. Anytime we see someone who is really dang good at something, the reason they're so good at it is because they've done it so many times, they don't even have to think about it now. They don't even have to think about it. I've talked to so many people and women I'm attracted to. I've talked to old people. I've talked to old men, old women. I've talked to my family. I've talked to people I'm not friends with. I've talked to friends of friends. I've talked to random people in the street. I've talked to such a variety of people that when I'm in that moment, so much of it is coming naturally. That means I actually can focus on what is being said. I can focus on good topics to bring into the conversation. And you suddenly will find yourself freed up. I think of like when I first learned how to drive manual, which manual is obviously changing gears. And when you're first doing it, you are so focused on everything and just trying to change the gear and I'll put the clutch in and don't stall or whatever. And if you've ever driven manual, you understand this when you're first learning. It's a freaking nightmare. If you're learning auto and there's no gear shifting, then you should feel lucky. All you had to do was just focus on the road and just don't put your foot too hard on the accelerator. But when you're doing manual, you're so worried on all this that trying to look at the road is like the last thing you can do. And oh my gosh, and that kind of thing. I think about it, like I've been doing that for now the last 4 years. I didn't even have to think about the gear change. I can be looking at what's happening on the road. I can be listening to music. I can be talking to a friend. And it's all just muscle memory. And I feel like, again, that comes down to the practice is important. Get to the point where you've talked to so many people that you are not worried about, oh, this or that. You can just be in the moment and focused on what is at hand. It makes such a difference. And number 9 would be learn body language. And I'm not going to go over it all in this video because body language is such an expansive topic and I wouldn't even know where to start on it. I do want to make videos on it in the future. So let me know, comment down below if that's something that you'd like to see. But body language makes such a difference. And the main, just quickly to break it down, is you can tell when someone is into something and when they're not into something. I can tell when someone is interested in me and when they're not interested in me. I can tell if they're enjoying our time together and we're getting along well, or I can tell if they're not enjoying our time together well. And I guess when I see this, I see guys and girls, but especially guys who can't read body language, because often girls are not going to say it outright. Hey, you stink, you suck, you're kind of weird. I don't want to talk to you. They're not going to say that. When you think about any time you've had an awkward conversation with someone you don't want to talk to, maybe it was your grandparents where they just wouldn't stop talking about, I don't know. I was going to say your granddad's time in Nam, but that's a bit dark. Whatever. But you've been stuck to talking to someone you don't want to talk to, and you'd be clearly showing body language that you'd be turning your head away and like breaking eye contact, and you'd be like, oh my gosh, please. And you're trying to be nice, and you're like, But it's obvious. And anyone can tell who's even knows a little bit of body language can be like, hey, they don't want to listen. Maybe I should stop talking. But we see those people who don't understand body language and keep babbling on, and often it really hurts them socially. People do not like them socially because they'll always talk your ear off. They'll always take it too far. And don't be that person. Man, give yourself a chance. Give yourself the best shot that you can and understand. Learn a bit of body language. It makes such a massive difference. Anyway, that brings up the 9 points I had for today. Obviously, this was a bit more of a longer, more expansive video. Let me know if there's certain points that you'd like me to expand further on in future videos. I'd love to hear your feedback, negative feedback, positive feedback. Comment it down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video.